Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to SSBCrack exams once more. I'm back with a class today on AFCAT 1 2022 English section, right? काफी दिनों से we have been practicing lots of questions from the most important topics जहां से questions आएगी आपकी AFCAT 1 2022 के एग्जाम में and that is also for the verbal ability or the English section, right? आज हमारा लास्ट क्लास है इंग्लिश के लिए और आज का जो टॉपिक हम करने वाले हैं वो बहुत ही इजी और एट द सेम टाइम इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक भी है। तो आप लोगों को आई होप कि इस वाले सेशन पे अटेंड करके बहुत ही अच्छा लगेगा। अगर आपको ज्वाइन कर रहे हो अगर आपको ये सेशन अच्छा लग रहा है तो जरूर लाइक कीजिए और शेयर कर दीजिएगा। ओके, गुड इवनिंग सौविक, कीर्ति, स्वरांजलि, पायल। ओके एवरीवन, आज इंग्लिश का लास्ट क्लास होगा, ऑलराइट, एंड फ्रॉम मंडे all of us SSBCrack exams is coming up with a marathon sessions. Okay, तो 5 दिन लगातार मैराथन सेशंस चलेंगे और वहां पे आप लोग मॉक टेस्ट जो है प्रैक्टिस कर पाएंगे। तो मॉक के मैराथन सेशंस लेके हम लोग मंडे से आ रहे हैं आपके लिए। टाइमिंग सेम रहेगी, 4 बजे से द मैराथन सेशंस विल बिगिन। ओके, ज्वाइन हो जाओ जल्दी से गाइस। We're going to begin with a very important topic today, but at the same time an easy one. Okay, join होते रहिए आप लोग, and now we will move on to the most important part that you need to know about SSBCrack exams. अगर आप नए हो हमारे चैनल में, then obviously guys SSBCrack exam is India's #1 portal for all defense aspirants. सिर्फ AFCAT ही नहीं, अगर आप कोई भी डिफेंस रिलेटेड एग्जाम के लिए तैयारी करना चाहते हैं तो हमारे ऐप को जरूर डाउनलोड कीजिए फ्रॉम द गूगल प्ले स्टोर, क्योंकि इस ऐप में आपको मिल जाएगा सारे डिफेंस एग्जाम के रिलेटेड कोर्सेज और इन कोर्सेज में आपको मिलेगा वीडियो लेक्चर्स, PDF स्टडी मटेरियल्स एज पर द अपडेटेड सिलेबस ऑफ द एग्जाम, और आप ये चीजें ऑफलाइन मोड में भी एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। मॉक टेस्ट भी हम प्रोवाइड किए हैं ताकि आप लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा मॉक टेस्ट प्रैक्टिस कर पाए और अपना परफॉर्मेंस और भी ज्यादा अच्छा कर पाए। और ये मॉक टेस्ट के क्वेश्चन सबमिट करने के बाद आपको मिलती है स्मार्ट एनालिटिक रिपोर्ट, जहां पे आपकी एक रैंक एनालिसिस के बारे में भी बताया जाता है, विच विल बी समवट सिमिलर टू द ऑल इंडिया रैंक यू विल गेट इन द एक्चुअल एग्जाम। स्टडी प्लान भी हम प्रोवाइड करके रखे हैं कोर्स के अंदर, तो अगर आप AFCAT 2 2022 या फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर के AFCAT एग्जाम के लिए बैठना चाहते हैं एग्जाम में, तो ऑब्वियसली प्रेपरेशन आज से स्टार्ट कर दीजिए और इसके लिए स्टडी प्लान हमने प्रोवाइड किए हैं, तो वो स्टडी प्लान को सामने रखते हुए आप अपना प्रेपरेशन स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। लाइव क्लासेस हमारे ऑब्वियसली चैनल पे चलती आ रही है फ्रॉम 4 PM to 8 PM इन द इवनिंग, है ना। सो फ्रॉम 4 to 5 you have a class on the static GK, 5 to 6 you have a class on numerical ability, 6 to 7 you have my class which is on English or verbal ability, and from 7 to 8 you have a class 3 on reasonings, right? और ये सारे दिनों में we are giving you most important topics और उनके related important questions जो आपको प्रैक्टिस करने में और समझने में कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो रही होगी आई होप, और आपको मजा आ रहा है हमारे सारे क्लासेस अटेंड करने में। सो गाइस जॉइन क्विकली एंड लाइक एंड शेयर द क्लास। ओके, ऑलराइट, तो आप यहाँ पे चेकआउट कर सकते हैं सारे इंपॉर्टेंट कोर्सेज जो है रिलेटेड टू द रिटन डिफेंस एग्जाम, वी हैव इट, एंड ऑल्सो वी हैव रिसेंटली लॉन्च SSB इंटरव्यू ऑनलाइन कोर्स। सो गाइज इफ यू नो एनीवन who is going for a direct entry or who has already given his or her written exam and waiting for SSB interview, please recommend this particular course. वैसे आप भी AFCAT 1 2022 एग्जाम के बाद इस पर्टिकुलर कोर्स पे एनरोल हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पे सिर्फ आपको PDF स्टडी मटेरियल्स या कॉन्सेप्ट लेक्चर्स ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे इंटरेक्टिव क्लासेस भी मिलेंगे जो कि लाइव जाते हैं हम लोग हर दिन, एंड दैट ऑल्सो इन बैचेस, जहाँ पे आप फेस टू फेस हमारे टॉप नॉच रिकमेंडेड ट्यूटर्स के साथ जरूर से अपनी कॉन्वर्सेशन कर सकते हैं और अपनी क्वेरीज को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। सो गाइस वी हैव आल्सो प्रोवाइडेड टेस्ट सीरीज जो कि मॉक टेस्ट सेट्स है। आई होप कि आप लोग ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर हो चुके होंगे, आपका रिवीजन जो है वो चल रहा होगा फॉर AFCAT 1 2022 एग्जाम। सो आई वुड से कि आप लोग देर मत कीजिए, डोंट वेट फॉर एनीथिंग बट गेट योरसेल्फ एनरोल्ड इनटू AFCAT 2022 मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज, जिसमें हमने सारे मॉक टेस्ट के एक्सक्लूसिव क्वेश्चंस प्रोवाइड किए हैं और बहुत सारे सेट्स में, ताकि ज्यादा से ज्यादा आप लोग प्रैक्टिस कर पाए। So all this you will get only through our SSBCrack exams app. So if you have not downloaded this app yet, please do so from the Google Play Store and use the code warrior10 while enrolling for any course or test series to get an extra 10% off. Okay guys, so चलो हम लोग start करते हैं, एंड प्लीज ज्वाइन करते रहिए और लाइक करते रहिए, शेयर करते रहिए जितना ज्यादा हो सके इस क्लास को, ताकि बाकी लोग भी इस क्लास को ज्वाइन कर पाए और हमारे साथ प्रैक्टिस कर पाए बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस के। सो टुडेज टॉपिक इज गाइस कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, जो कि बहुत ही इजी वाला आता है हर एफकैट के एग्जाम में कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का पैसेज काफी इजी होता है, क्वेश्चंस भी लाइक अ केक वॉक, इट्स लाइक कंप्लीटली प्री प्राइमरी लेवल के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, बहुत ही मजेदार टॉपिक है और स्कोरिंग टॉपिक भी है। ठीक है, तो चलिए हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं कॉम्प्रिहेंशन के टॉपिक पे जो है पैसेजेस देखना। ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट पैसेज है ये वाला, बहुत ही छोटा वाला पैसेज है। मनीष बता दूंगी कहां से पीडीएफ नोट्स लेना है आप लोगों को। Okay, so let's read this passage. We shall go on the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with the growing confidence and strength in the air. We shall defend our island. Whatever the cost may be, we shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. And even if this island or a large part of it was subjugated and starving, then our empire beyond the seas would carry on the struggle until the new world steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the old. है ना, काफी पेट्रियोटिक है. I hope all of my future air warriors must also be feeling this passion, this josh in them, because this is so patriotic, isn't it, guys? Okay, so now we will go on into the question. Read it and I'll give you 20 seconds for reading the question and finding out the answer, and then obviously I'll show you the answer. ठीक है, काफी easy वाला passage था. तो ये रहा पहला question. On the basis of the passage, which of the following statements may be said to be correct? According to the passage, which one is your correct option? You have to choose that. Time's up, guys, and the answer is very easy. It is option D. So the options given were: the speaker is encouraging his men for the conquest of France. The speaker is an aggressive and maniacal warmonger. The speaker is not satisfied with the conquest of the island. The speaker is a patriot urging the defense of his motherland. Okay, so obviously आप लोग को सब में समझ में आ ही गया होगा कि ऑप्शन डी है इसका आंसर, है ना. सो द टोन ऑफ द पैसेज इज कंप्लीटली पेट्रियोटिक. ओके, बी नहीं होगा सौविक, क्योंकि यहाँ पे फ्रांस में जाके फाइट करने की बात हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि समथिंग इज बीइंग हैपनिंग इन फ्रांस फॉर विच दे हैव टू डिफेंड फ्रांस. ओके, तो यहाँ पे जो है आंसर आपका डी ही होगा, बिकॉज स्पीकर इज patriotic and is urging the defense of his motherland, right? Okay, right. So I'll be showing the passage and the questions together. Okay, yeah, that will be a correct way. Okay, so now we will move on to the next question. Second one, the speaker in the passage wants to go on fighting because... Why do you think the speaker in the passage wants to go on fighting? Okay, time's up, guys. And the answer is obviously C. Options were: he is a raving lunatic, he is in a state of utter despair, he expects help from other quarters, he is the leader of a suicide squad. Obviously, it will be option C, because here, if you go in the passage, here he is saying, we will fight and would carry on the struggle until the new world steps forth to the rescue. So he's waiting for the new world to step forth, to come up and rescue her. Okay. So basically, agar aapko, if you have any idea, this is basically about the World War II, okay? And it's talking about Britain. So I think this is a British, a British patriot who's waiting for America, USA to come, because New World means USA or America, and the Old World is obviously Europe, okay? Got it, guys? So obviously, the answer is option C here. Very good, Anita, Savik, Rosh. Yes. Now, moving on to the next question. Which of the following pair of the phrases helps best to bring out the intention of the speaker? Speaker का intention कौन से phrases से हमें पता चल रहा है ना? हितेश, raving lunatic का मतलब है जो पागल है, बिल्कुल दिमाग से पागल. Okay, time's up, guys. And the answer is option A. Now, as you can see here in the passage, the speaker is a patriot. है ना? He's talking about defending his own motherland. So, obviously, it will be go on to the end, shall never surrender. So, these are the phrases that help best to bring out the intention of the speaker, never to give up but continue fighting till the new world comes for the rescue. है ना? So, option A will be your correct answer. Moving to the next question. The passage consists of repetitive patterns in syntax and vocabulary. बहुत सारे words या sentences है जो बार बार repeat किया जा रहा है passage में. The effect of this style is that इसका क्या effect है? What is the effect of this kind of style? I'm giving you 10 seconds more for this question. Okay, time's up, guys. And the answer is option D. है ना? Very good, Jerin. Options were reveals the speaker's defects in giving a speech, produces the impression of bad poetry, conveys the speaker's helpless situation, reinforces the speaker's basic intention. Now, this kind of effect, repeating the same words or phrases again and again and again, doesn't mean that you don't know how to speak. We use this kind of style because we want to emphasize or we want to bring out the passion that we are talking of. Hai na? So this is option D, which is your answer. Very good, Anita. Okay, now we'll move on to the next and the last question from the passage. The tone of the speaker is, what do you think the tone of the speaker is? एक बहुत easy है ये वाला. Pleading and urging, inspiring and encouraging, discouraging and gloomy, menacing and bullying. Okay, time's up. Very easy answer. It is option B. है ना? It is inspiring and encouraging because he's talking about never to give up but go on fighting, a patriot. है ना? So option B आपका आंसर है. Very good, Shubham and Gitanjali. ठीक है? तो obviously guys स्कोर करो अपने आप को कि 5 क्वेश्चंस में से कितने क्वेश्चंस आपने करेक्टली आंसर किए हैं इस पैसेज से. है ना? Mark yourselves guys quickly and we will move on to the next passage. Those of you who were thinking to join but बीच में join कर समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है कि क्या हो रहा है, किस पैसेज का क्वेश्चन है. Now is the time to join quickly, guys. So join now because we are going to go to the next passage. Okay, and like and share the class. Okay, so now moving on to the second passage. So this is the second passage, a very short one. Very good, Jyoti. 5 out of 5. Good. Manaswini, very good. Anita, 3. Okay. Hitesh, 4. Very good. Shailesh, very good. Navjot, 3. Very good. Jyoti, very good. Rosh, okay, 3 out of 5. Good. Okay. Now we have moved on to the next passage here. Pablo Picasso showed his truly exceptional talent from a very young age. His first word was lapis, Spanish for pencil, and he learned to draw before he could talk. He was the only son in the family and very good looking, so he was thoroughly spoiled. He hated school and often refused to go unless his doting parents allowed him to take one of his father's pet pigeons with him. Apart from pigeons, his great love was art. And when in 1891 his father, who was an amateur artist, got a job as a drawing teacher at a college, Pablo went with him to the college. He often watched his father paint and sometimes was allowed to help. One evening, his father was painting a picture of the pigeons when he had to leave the room. He returned to find that Pablo had completed the picture and it was so amazingly beautiful and lifelike that he gave his son his own palette and brushes and never painted again. Pablo was just 13. Very inspiring story, hai na? Interesting also. Now we will move on to the first question from this passage. As a boy, Pablo Picasso was ordinary looking but talented, handsome and talented, handsome and studious, handsome and hardworking. And I'll show you the passage here. Okay, now I'm getting back to the question again. So what will be the answer, guys? Obviously, Uttam. Very good. The answer will be option B. He was handsome and talented. So you can find it out from here. He was the only son in the family and very good looking. So he was thoroughly spoiled. So he was talented and as well as he was very good looking, है ना, very handsome. So option B is your answer. Very good, Arif. Moving on to the next question. He was spoiled mostly because he was a smart boy, loved by one and all, the only son in the family, always surrounded by notorious boys. काफी इजी वाला है ये. Okay, time's up. And the answer is option C. Very good, Jerin. Absolutely. So he was spoiled mostly because he was the only son in the family. तो जैसे एक ही बच्चे को बहुत ज्यादा प्यार मिल जाता है ना, तो वही से he was thoroughly spoiled. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Picasso went to school only when his friends accompanied him. His father went with him. He was allowed to paint at school. He was allowed to carry a pet with him. Okay, time's up, guys. And the answer is again very easy. Everyone very good. Giving the right answer, it is option D, है ना? So when he was allowed to carry a pet with him. तो यहाँ पे passage में already बोला जा रहा है कि वो school एकदम से पसंद नहीं करता था. He hated school and often refused to go unless his doting parents, doting मतलब loving, allowed him to take one of his father's pet pigeons with him. जब तक उसके अपने फादर के एक पेट पिजन्स नहीं मिलता था वो तब तक स्कूल नहीं जाता था, है ना? सो देयरफॉर योर आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी हियर. ओके, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हेन हिज फादर पेंटेड इन द कॉलेज, पाब्लो occasionally helped him, rarely helped him, always helped him, invariably helped him. Okay, time's up, guys. And the answer is obviously occasionally helped him, है ना? तो यहाँ पे अगर आप पैसेज पे वापस जाओगे तो यहाँ पे आप देख पाओगे कि जब उनके फादर को एक नौकरी मिला था कॉलेज में एज अ ड्राइंग टीचर, पाब्लो वेंट विथ हिम टू द कॉलेज. ही ऑफन वॉच्ड हिज फादर पेंट एंड समटाइम्स वाज अलाउड टू हेल्प. कभी कभार वो अपने पापा को हेल्प भी कर देता था, है ना? इसीलिए आंसर क्या होगा? ओकेशनली हेल्प्ड हिम. Not always, not rarely, not invariably. Invariably also means always. Okay, guys? So option A will be your correct answer. Sometimes. That means occasionally. Kabhi kabar. Moving on to the next and the last question from this passage. Pablo's father gave up painting because उन्होंने क्यों painting छोड़ा? Because he did not like the job, because he retired from the college, because he was impressed by his son's talent, or because he lost interest in painting. Okay, time's up. Once more, let's see what is the answer. It is obviously option C. He was so impressed and taken by his son's painting that he gave him his palette and brushes and never painted again, है ना? So option C will be your correct answer. यहाँ पे अगर आप passage में वापस जाओगे, here you can see that it was so amazingly beautiful and lifelike that he gave his son his own palette and brushes and never painted again. इसका मतलब है इतना अच्छा amazing उसका talent था उसके बेटे का कि वो देख के एकदम से सन रह गया. And that is why he gave up painting, because he wanted his son to paint. He was a great painter, even a better painter than him, है ना? So option C is your correct answer. Now everyone mark yourselves. इस वाले पैसेज में आपको कितने सारे क्वेश्चंस जो है करेक्ट आंसर आया. वेरी गुड कीर्ति. मानस्विनी 4. वेरी गुड नवजोत. वेरी गुड अनीता. very good रोहन. 5 out of 5. Very good. जेरिन ऑल्सो. अनीता 4. ओके गाइस, काफी इजी वाला पैसेज था, है ना? तो ऐसे इजी पैसेज और उसके क्वेश्चन ही आने वाले हैं. तो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग गाइस दैट यू हैव टू रीड द क्वेश्चन वेरी केयरफुली, फाइंड आउट द आंसर फ्रॉम द पैसेज एंड देन मार्क इट. ठीक है? ऐसे भूल से कोई भी गलत समझ के या फिर उसका मीनिंग कुछ बोल रहा है क्वेश्चन, आप कुछ और गलत समझे, ऐसे करके जो है इतने इजी क्वेश्चन पे डोंट लूज मार्क्स. ओके, राइट. सो नाउ वी विल मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पैसेज. अगेन दोज ऑफ यू हु आर वेटिंग टू ज्वाइन, please join now and like and share the class जो already join कर चुके हैं. So guys, before we move on to the next passage, let me tell you, those of you who are preparing for the AFCAT 2 2022 as well as AFCAT exam next year can start preparing your for your exam from today and onwards by getting yourself enrolled to AFCAT exam online course. और इस कोर्स पे एनरोल होने के लिए आपको हमारे SSBCrack एग्जाम्स के ऐप को डाउनलोड करना है फ्रॉम द गूगल प्ले स्टोर. एंड इस कोर्स के अंदर आपको सारे सब्जेक्ट्स के कॉन्सेप्ट लेक्चर्स, PDF स्टडी मटेरियल्स, also quizzes as well as practice exercise sets, sample practice Q&A, प्रीवियस ईयर्स Q&A सब कुछ मिलेगा जो आपको एग्जाम के हेल्प करेगा प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए और प्रिपेयर करने के लिए. ओके गाइस, राइट, नाउ वी विल मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पैसेज. सो दिस इज द नेक्स्ट पैसेज ऑन योर स्क्रीन. अगेन अ वेरी इजी पैसेज. ठीक है, okay, let's read this. My brother David was always close to our grandmother. Both of them shared a love of Mother Nature and of food that they had grown themselves. Whenever his schedule permitted, he would drop in for a short visit and a cup of coffee. One day, when he found no one home, he left a chunk of dirt on her porch. This started what was later to be known as his calling card. Grandmother would come home occasionally and instantly know that Dave had been by when she spotted the chunk of dirt on her porch. Although grandmother had a poor upbringing in Italy, she managed to do well in the United States. She was always healthy and independent and enjoyed a fulfilling life. Recently, she had a stroke and died. Everyone was saddened by her death. David was disconsolate. His lifelong friend was now gone. Typical relationship between a grandmother and a grandson, isn't it? So this is a very interesting and a heart-touching story that you have read. Now, we will move on to the first question from this passage, everyone. So be ready. This is the first question. Which of the following is the synonym of the word upbringing? अपब्रिंगिंग का सिनोनिम आपको यहां से ढूंढना है. डिवास्टेटेड, हिलेरियस, रेजिंग, सराउंडिंग. ओके, टाइम्स अप गाइस. वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. आंसर इज ऑब्वियसली सी, है ना, अपब्रिंगिंग. आरिफ, चंक ऑफ डर्ट मतलब थोड़ा सा मिट्टी का एक ढेला, जो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, मिट्टी का ढेल, वो उसके पोर्च पे रख दिया. पोर्च मतलब ना ऐसे घर होता है. अगर आपने मतलब, ओके, आई एम ड्राइंग जस्ट लाइक अ किड गाइस, सो प्लीज एक्सक्यूज मी. तो अगर आपने ऐसा घर देखा ना, तो कभी होता है ना कि ऐसे दरवाजे के ऊपर देयर इज समथिंग लाइक दिस. सो दिस इज नोन एज पोर्च. ओके, इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं पोर्च. So basically a porch is like a staircase is there and then there is some veranda kind of a thing here. और दरवाजे के सामने के एरिया को हम लोग पोर्च बोलते हैं. ठीक है, क्लियर? ओके, यस, प्लीज गाइज डोंट माइंड माई ड्रॉइंग. ओके, सो ऑप्शन सी इज योर करेक्ट आंसर, है ना. ओके, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द एडजेक्टिव फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ड सैडेंड इज. सैडेंड वर्ड का एडजेक्टिव फॉर्म आपको ढूंढना है. तो क्या है एडजेक्टिव सैडेंड का? सैडली, सैड, सडनली, सडन. ओके, टाइम्स अप. इजी वन, ऑप्शन बी, सैड, है ना. सैडेंड इज अ वर्ब, सैड इज एन एडजेक्टिव, सैडली इज वर्ड, एडवर्ब, है ना. सॉरी, जस्ट गॉट, हाँ सर, सैडली इज एन एडवर्ब और सडन और सडनली के साथ तो कोई रिलेशन ही नहीं है इसका. सो ऑप्शन बी इज योर करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस, राइट. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट वाज कंडीशन ऑफ ग्रैंडमदर अर्लियर. ग्रैंडमदर के कंडीशन पहले क्या था? अर्लियर, व्हाट वाज हर कंडीशन अर्लियर? रिच इन इटली बट पुअर इन द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, in the United States but is now in Italy, poor earlier but became rich later on, rich earlier but now poor. बताओ क्या होगा, जल्दी जल्दी. Okay, time's up guys and the answer is option C, poor earlier but became rich later on. देखो अगर आप पैसेज में वापस जाओगे, यहाँ पे साफ साफ लिखा है although grandmother had a poor upbringing in Italy. इसका मतलब जब वो इटली में रहते थे तब उनके पास उतना पैसा नहीं था, जो भी थे मतलब अमीर नहीं थे. बट शी मैनेज टू डू वेल इन द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स. यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स आने के बाद शी वॉज डूइंग वेल, है ना. इसका मतलब है वो पहले इटली में जब थे तो शी वॉज पुअर, बट वेन शी केम टू यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स शी वॉज डूइंग वेल. ओके, शी वॉजंट पुअर एनीमोर. सो ऑप्शन सी इज योर करेक्ट आंसर. वेरी गुड एवरीवन. Moving on to the next question. Grandmother enjoyed a dash life. What kind of a life the grandmother enjoyed? Healthy but sickly, good and healthy, rich but sickly, poor and healthy. Okay, time's up. And the answer is option B, good and healthy. Again, going back to the passage, if you see here, You can see she was always healthy and independent and enjoyed a fulfilling life. इसका मतलब है she was already rich when she is in United States. Okay. Plus she was also very independent and very healthy. है ना? So therefore your answer is very good, Anita. Option B. Okay, moving on to the next and the last question from this passage. Grandmother's death made everyone sad, including David, disconsolate, excluding David, happy and disconsolate, sad, excluding David. Okay, time's up and the answer is obviously option A, sad including David, है ना? Excluding मतलब छोड़ के, David को छोड़ के सब लोग disconsolate थे. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ है कि David disconsolate नहीं था, पर ऐसा नहीं है. ओके, हैप्पी एंड डिस्कॉन्सोलेट एक साथ तो नहीं हो सकता. सैड एक्सक्लूडिंग डेविड, इसका मतलब है डेविड को छोड़ के सब लोग सैड थे और डेविड सैड नहीं था. ये भी नहीं है क्योंकि डेविड वाज डिस्कॉन्सोलेट, एवरीवन वाज सैडेंड, है ना? यहाँ पे देखो साफ साफ लिखा है पैसेज में दैट एवरीवन वाज सैडेंड बाय हर डेथ, डेविड वाज डिस्कॉन्सोलेट. तो डेविड और भी सैड थे क्योंकि उनका लाइफ लॉन्ग फ्रेंड जो है वो अब नहीं रहे, है ना? सो देयरफॉर ऑप्शन ए विल बी योर करेक्ट आंसर. वेरी गुड एवरीवन. 4 out of 5, most of you. Shailesh 5 out of 5, Anita also, Manaswini very good, Rosh 3, okay, Kirti 4 out of 5. Very good everyone. तो काफी इजी वाला पैसेज था. चलिए नेक्स्ट पैसेज की ओर बढ़ते हैं. अगेन गाइस प्लीज ज्वाइन, अगर आपको ज्वाइन करना है क्योंकि हम लोग नेक्स्ट पैसेज की ओर बढ़ने जा रहे हैं. लाइक करते रहिए सेशन को. जितने भी लोग अभी तक नहीं लाइक किए हैं प्लीज लाइक द क्लास एंड शेयर द क्लास. ओके, all right, moving to the next passage is this one. Okay, very small passage but very impactful passage, है ना? चलिए पढ़ लेते हैं. But the war did not cease, though friend and foe alike were almost drowned in blood. It seemed as powerful as eternity, and in time Tony Vassal too went to battle and was killed. The country gave Patience a widow's pension as well as a touching inducement to marry again. She died of grief. Many people died in those days. It was not strange at all. Nathan and his wife got so rich that after the war, they died of overeating, and their daughter Olive came into a vast fortune and a trustee. Okay? तो बेसिकली ये वॉर के आसपास कहानी है जहां पे बताया जा रहा है कि वॉर जो है वो थमा नहीं, है ना? फ्रेंड एंड फो अलाइक वर ड्राउन्ड इन ब्लड. And it matlab the war seemed as powerful as eternity. Like it's going on and it's so powerful. Tony Vassal is the name of a man. Okay, he went to battle and he was killed. And later जो Patience है ना, ये एक woman का नाम है. Okay, Patience is the name of a woman. So the country gave her a widow's pension and also encouraged her to marry again, but she died of sadness, of grief. Many people died in those days. It was not strange at all. After war, Nathan and his wives got so rich that they died of overeating, and their daughter Olive became a mistress of a very large fortune. Okay. So this was an overall short story kind of a passage. Chalo. First question dekhte kya hai? The writer says war is, according to the writer in the passage, what is war to him or her? Bloodless, partial, destructive, unimportant. What do you think after reading the passage? To the writer, what is war? Okay, time's up guys. And obviously, as you can make out from the passage, the answer will be option C. It is destructive. You know? You can see here that it was not ceasing. It seemed as powerful as eternity. Friend and foe alike were almost drowned in blood. So this shows that the speaker or the writer says that the war is so destructive. It's killing both a friend as well as an enemy, and it's going on. It's so powerful as eternity. Right? Now, moving on to the next question. देखो bloodless extra status. यहाँ पे देखो silly mistakes बोलते हैं ना, blood में drown हो रहा. Bloodless मतलब क्या? जहाँ पे एक बूंद blood भी नहीं है. पर ऐसा तो नहीं है, कोई भी war में ऐसा होता है क्या? नहीं होता. So that is why you have to be a bit careful while choosing your answer. Okay? Now we move on to the next question. This is the next question, guys. In the passage, it is stated that friend and foe alike were almost drowned in blood. What does it convey? In other words, what does this statement means? Friends and enemies forgot their differences. Both suffered similarly. Both started liking each other. War made people hate each other. What will be the answer, guys? Okay, let's look into the answer. It is obviously option B, है ना? Very good, Manaswini, Navjot as well. So, जब friend or foe, मतलब friend or enemy, alike, similarly, they were almost drowned in blood. That means no one was alive, है ना? Both a friend and an enemy is being killed in the war. It means both of them suffered similarly. That means all humanity was suffering because of war. Very good, Shivangi, Devansh. Okay, moving on to the next question. From this passage, we learn that Tony Vasal was. From this passage, we learned who was Tony Vasal. Tony Vasal was Patient's husband, a soldier's son, Nathan's relative, very successful. Time's up. Obviously, as the passage has conveyed to you, Patience was the woman to whom the widow's pension was given after Tony Vasal was killed in the war, है ना? तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि Tony Vasal was Patience's husband, है ना? उसके मरने के बाद ही ना उनको पूरा कंट्री ने वो पेंशन, विडोज पेंशन दे रहे थे. So that is why option A will be your correct answer. Okay? So option A is your correct answer. Now, moving on to the next question. Dash as well a touching, okay, not dash, something that came, as well a touching inducement to marry. Here inducement का क्या मतलब है? What does inducement mean? Agreement, invocation, reminder, encouragement. So if I will show you the part in the passage where this line comes so that you will remember. The country gave Patience a widow's pension as well a touching inducement to marry again. She died of grief. So now tell me, what is the meaning of inducement? Agreement, invocation, reminder, encouragement. Very good, Shubhika, Shailesh, Shivani, Shivangi, very good. Yes, it should be option D, encouragement. जब उनके husband का death हो गया, she was given the widow's pension, but the country also gave her a touching inducement, a touching encouragement to marry again. But bichari, she couldn't marry, she died of grief. And so inducement means encouragement, not agreement, not invocation. Invocation means prayer, not even reminder, but a small encouragement. Okay, so option D is your correct answer. Moving to the next and the last question from this passage. Olive, after her parents' death, became rich, honest, brave, fat. अनीता, रुक जाओ, अभी तक क्वेश्चन खत्म नहीं हुआ. So excited ना to share how many questions have correct. 5 अभी तक हुआ ही नहीं. Okay guys, time's up. Answer is rich, obviously. जैसे यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है कि Nathan and his wife, they were the parents of Olive, right? So after the war, they became so rich they died of overeating, and their daughter Olive came into a vast fortune and a trustee. Trustee कौन होते हैं? एक ऐसा इंसान जिसके हाथ में पावर और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रहता है to look after a certain property, right? So this proves that she became very rich. So option A is your correct answer. No, Jyoti, not brave. It is written clearly in the passage. Now tell me, guys, how many questions you have correctly answered in this passage. Guys, one thing you have to be very, very careful while you are answering questions of comprehension, that you do not have to assume anything on your own. है ना? Answers आपको पैसेज से पढ़ के ही देना है. खुद कुछ assume नहीं करना है, या फिर किसी चीज के बारे में अगर आपके पास कुछ नॉलेज हो तो उसका भी काम आपका यहाँ नहीं है. Please remember, the passage answers, the passage questions only asks you about answers which are there inside the passage and not what you think or about your opinion. Okay, so please be very careful about it. Very good. Ambika, Manya, very good. Shailesh, very good. Pretty okay. 6 नहीं था, 5 out of 5 ही है फिर आपका. ठीक है, 5 ही questions थे. Okay, 4 out of 5. Shivangi 5. Okay, Jyoti 3. No worries. Practice more and you will obviously score full marks. Okay, now we will move on to the next passage. Okay guys, so before that let me also tell you, अभी आप लोग पूछ रहे थे कि मैम ये सारे live classes के PDF materials कहाँ से मिलेगा. Now not only for English, बट फॉर अदर सब्जेक्ट्स एज वेल, जितने भी सारे लाइव क्लासेस हो रहे हैं उनके सारे पीडीएफ मटेरियल सिर्फ और सिर्फ हमारे ऐप में ही आपको मिलेगा। तो अगर आपको पीडीएफ मटेरियल्स चाहिए इन सारे क्लासेस के, तो हमारे ऐप को जरूर डाउनलोड कीजिए फ्रॉम द गूगल प्ले स्टोर। गेट योरसेल्फ एनरोल्ड इनटू AFCAT एग्जाम ऑनलाइन कोर्स एंड इनसाइड द कोर्स यू विल फाइंड अ सेक्शन कॉल्ड AFCAT 1 2022 लाइव क्लास एंड आंसर कीज, जिसमें आपको सारे क्लासेस मिलेंगे। फिर से दोबारा देख सकते हैं वहां पे, और हर एक क्लास के साथ आपको पीडीएफ मटेरियल्स मिल जाएंगे जो आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं और यूज कर सकते हैं प्रैक्टिस के लिए। Okay guys, now we will move on to the next passage. So quickly we will move into this passage. Now here it is, short passage again. Let's read it together. Yes, Rohan, absolutely. Now let's read the passage together, guys. When I think of my family's history on the land, I experience a pang of regret. Unlike much of the arid West, where the land has gone virtually unchanged for centuries, my place of origin, western Kansas, has been torn up by agriculture. The flat plains, excellent soil, and sparse but just adequate rainfall permitted farming. Therefore, farming prevailed, and a good 90% of the original salt prairie is gone. The consequence, in human terms, is that our relationship to our place has always felt primarily mercantile. We used the land and denied or held at bay its effect on us. Yet, from my earliest childhood, when the most of the Kansas prairie was still intact, I've known that the land also had a romantic quality. I felt moved by the expanse of it, enthralled by size. I take pride in my identity as a plains daughter. Okay? Right? So this is the passage that we have been talking about. तो आपको ये पैसेज पढ़ के लग ही रहा होगा कि जो स्पीकर या फिर राइटर है वो यहाँ पे अपने नेटिव लैंड के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, दैट इज वेस्ट कैंसस. ओके, सो शी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट वेस्ट कैंसस. ऑलराइट, उसके कुछ चीजों के बारे में बात चल रही है. नाउ वी विल मूव ऑन टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम दिस पैसेज. ओके, सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Rohan, there is not one favorite student of mine. Every one of you are equal to me. Okay. मान्य मॉक के लिए मैराथन सेशंस चालू होने वाले मंडे से, ठीक है, एट द सेम टाइम. सो डोंट वरी, इफ यू वांट टू अटेंड मॉक you can obviously come into these marathon sessions from Monday at the same time. 4 p.m. we are going to start with the marathon sessions. Okay, which of the following is the most accurate statement of the author's position? Time's up, guys. Answer will be option D. What were the options given? The presence of the people has enriched the plains habitat. Farming has improved the soils of the plains. Farming has chemically polluted the plains. Farming has eroded the natural beauty of the plains. So if you guys were going through the passage very, very carefully, you would have understood that the writer was saying how West Kansas was so beautiful, okay, but the farming ruined it, ruined the beauty of it. So if you go back to the passage, you can see here, my place of origin, western Kansas, has been torn up by agriculture. Torn, what is the meaning of torn? Yani फाड़ देना, है ना. The torn has come from the word tear. So agriculture has eroded or torn the beauty of West Kansas. So this is what the writer is being talking of. So option D is your correct answer. Okay. Moving to the next question. The argument in the paragraph is based primarily on, but there's a kind of argument which is going on in the passage, right? What is it based on? Absolutely, Hitesh. So whatever arguments the author has been putting forward in the passage is based on, what do you think? It is option C. Feelings the author has picked up from personal experience. Okay, you can see if you go back to the passage, lots of my, I going on, see I, then here also I, here also there is my. Okay, so basically what do you think the writer is trying to do? She is not putting forward any facts or statistics or any kind of data. Okay, she is putting forward her own feelings that she had experienced from her childhood itself while being a part or while being an inhabitant of West Kansas. So option C will be your correct answer. Very good, everyone. Moving to the next question. From the passage, it may be determined that the word mercantile has something to do with... Okay, so I'll just show you where the word has been used here. The consequence in human terms is that our relationship to our place has always felt primarily mercantile, है ना. ये ऑथर को लग रहा है कि उनके साथ उनके जगह का जो रिलेशनशिप है that is primarily mercantile. So what do you think? The mercantile word has something to do with practicality, danger, America or spirituality? Okay guys, time's up. Answer is option A, practicality, because the word mercantile means commercial, something to do with business. So where there is business, there is commerce, there is practicality. That is not to do anything with danger, America or spirituality, है ना. So option A will be your correct answer, है ना. D नहीं होगा, A होगा, क्योंकि उनका जो रिलेशनशिप था लैंड के साथ वो कमर्शियल था. क्यों कमर्शियल था? क्योंकि फार्मिंग के लिए बहुत सुटेबल जगह था वेस्ट कैंसस, है ना. एंड पीपल वर गोइंग ऑन डूइंग फार्मिंग that was giving them even a good produce. So the relationship of the people with the land was something of like a business. Okay, it's not about spirituality or beauty or anything. Okay, that was missing there. So option A is the correct answer. Now we will move on to the next question. What does the author feel proud about? Why does she feel proud? What is it that she is feeling proud about? Being an American, being a native of Kansas, being able to see the romantic quality of the land, the ability to reunite well. Time's up. And the answer is obviously being a native of Kansas, है ना, option B. यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग passage की ओर चलते हैं, so I take pride in my identity as a Plains daughter, written very very clearly in the last line. Plains का मतलब है Western Kansas Plains. Okay, so therefore your answer will be option B. Clear? Why is it option B? Now moving on to the next and the last question. What factor changed the entire landscape of Kansas? पूरे Kansas का landscape कौन सा factor ने change किया? Wind, heat, agriculture, flooding. ये तो बहुत easy है. What do you think? Which factor changed the entire landscape of Kansas according to the author? Time's up, and obviously very easy. The answer is option C, farming or agriculture. So that was the main theme of the passage, how farming came into being, and 90% of the prairie lands, 90% of the western Kansas was changed because farming torn up the upland, है ना. Option C is the correct answer, agriculture. Very good everyone. Mark yourselves quickly how many questions you have correctly answered, and then we will move on to the next passage. Quickly guys. 3 out of 5. Jerin, okay. 4, Manaswini, okay. Ambika, okay. I think most of you have got 4. Okay, Devansh has got full marks. Very good, Devansh. Okay, very good, Rohan. All right, 4, 3. Okay, 3, 4 is like average. Okay. Rajni, 5. Very good. Okay. Right, guys. Very good. Great performance. Keep this up. Moving on to the next passage. So this is the next one. A bit serious. Next passage on your screen, guys. So let's read this next passage. The question of race has caused bloodbaths throughout the history. Take the case of the Negro. A Negro is someone with black skin who comes from Africa. It is an old-fashioned word and is offensive. So it's unoffensive if you call someone a Negro now. Some people used to write that way deliberately. The word nigger is also very offensive. The word was later replaced by colored, which gave way to black. Black is a color with negative suggestions. So we have expressions like black deed, black day, and blackmail. So no wonder the word black too assumed unfavorable meanings. Although in the 1960s, the famous slogan "Black is beautiful" was coined, and it did not help. The blacks of the United States therefore came to be called Afro-Americans. Now, the politically correct phrase is African American, है ना? Completely informative passage है. Blacks, Negroes वगैरह के बारे में बात चल रही है यहाँ पे. what were the words used to define these African people who have come. Okay, now we will move on into the first question. Okay, so this is the first question. Which word is old fashioned and offensive? Skin, Negro, Africa, black. Very easy. Come on, fast guys, I want fast answers. ओके, टाइम्स अप एंड द आंसर इज ऑब्वियसली ऑप्शन बी, निग्रो. यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी बोल चुके हैं कि जो निग्रो है इट इज एन ओल्ड फैशन वर्ड एंड इज ऑफेंसिव, है ना. सो ऑप्शन बी इज योर करेक्ट आंसर. वेरी गुड. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज which impression does the word black carry? So already in the passage we know that black is a name of a color which has negative suggestions, है ना. So what does the impression carried by the word black? Contemptible, unfavorable, negative, all of the above. Very easy. Okay, time's up and the answer is option D. Obviously all three of them, which are all negative connotations, negative words, है ना. Very good, Ankit. So option no. Yes, Manaswini, very good. Jyoti, Devansh, yeah. Option D is your correct answer. All of the above. Contemptible, unfavorable, negative. Now, moving on to the next question. Which is the politically correct phrase? Politically correct phrase कौन सा है? Colored, African American, nigger, Afro American. Excuse me, guys. Which one is the politically correct phrase? ओके, यान इट इज ऑब्वियसली ऑप्शन बी, अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन, है ना. तो पैसेज में ऑलरेडी ये लास्ट लाइन में बोल चुके हैं. नाउ द पॉलिटिकली करेक्ट फ्रेज इज अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन, राइट. सो वेरी इजी, इट इज ऑब्वियसली ऑप्शन बी हियर. वेरी गुड. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाई वाज ब्लैक इज ब्यूटिफुल कॉइन्ड? क्यों ब्लैक इज ब्यूटिफुल को कॉइन किया गया था? टू कॉम्बैट द प्रेजुडाइज्ड फीलिंग्स अगेंस्ट द ब्लैक्स, टू एनकरेज रेशियल एंड कास्ट बायस, दिस वुड बी रेशियल, to enhance the confidence of aboriginals, to discourage Negro slavery system. Why do you think the term black is beautiful coined? Obviously the answer would be option A, to combat the prejudiced feelings against the blacks. Blacks के against जो भी negative feelings थे लोगों के, वो combat, वो fight करने के लिए black is beautiful term जो है वो coined किया गया था 1960s में, है ना. But it didn't work obviously. Okay, so option A is your correct answer. Very good, Gautam Subhika. Okay, now we will move on to the next and the last question of the passage. Give the synonym of offensive. आपको यहाँ पे synonym बताना है offensive का. The options are courteous, aggressive, sympathetic, defending. What is the synonym? ओके, टाइम्स अप एंड द आंसर इज ऑब्वियसली ऑप्शन बी. तो यहाँ पे सिनोनिम ढूंढना है. ऑफेंसिव का नेगेटिव वर्ड है. आउट ऑफ दीज 4 ऑप्शंस ओनली ऑप्शन बी इज अ नेगेटिव वर्ड, रेस्ट आर ऑल पॉजिटिव वर्ड्स, है ना. तो दिस विल ऑल्सो टेल यू दैट विच वर्ड टू चूज. सो ऑप्शन बी इज योर करेक्ट आंसर. ऑफेंसिव इज समथिंग दैट गिव्स यू ऑफेंस, दैट समटाइम्स साउंड्स इंसल्टिंग, okay, bad. Okay, so option B is your answer. Quickly mark yourselves how many questions you have correctly answered. और हम लोग नेक्स्ट पैसेज की ओर मूव करेंगे फटाफट से. ओके, बट द टाइम इज शॉर्ट गाइज, सो आई विल जस्ट गिव यू द नेक्स्ट पैसेज इज योर होमवर्क. ओके, ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट आफ्टर द क्लास ends. Do not give me answers here. So before we moving on to your homework passage, let me tell you that we have recently launched SSB interview online course, the one that I was talking of. It's a very good course, very comprehensive, full-fledged course. यहाँ पे SSB में day 1 से लेकर day 5 तक जो होता है उसके बारे में full information हमने यहाँ पे provide किए हैं. कैसे प्रैक्टिस करना है और खुद को प्रिपेयर करना है एसएसबी के लिए, उसके बारे में भी आपको बहुत सारी चीज जो है यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा इस कोर्स में. सो इफ यू गाइज आर वेटिंग फॉर योर एसएसबी इंटरव्यू, हैज गॉन फॉर एनी रिटन एग्जाम एंड वेटिंग फॉर इट, please get yourself enrolled into this online course, as well as if you know anyone who is a direct entry candidate or who wants to prepare for SSB interview, please recommend this course. You can enroll this course by downloading our SSBcrack exams app from the Google Play Store. And not only that, if you are enrolling to this course, you will also get a chance to be a part of our interactive live classes, which are held regular basis and on monthly batches, where you can also solve many doubts you have with our top-notch recommended tutors, where also practice classes are held, which will help in your performance, improving up your confidence, giving up your performance level to a higher level. Okay, so now we will move on to the next passage. So Everyone take a screenshot. This is a passage for your homework, and no one please don't give me any answer for the homework questions I'm going to show you. Okay, take a screenshot. Fatafat se guys. Very good, Shailesh. Jyoti also, very good. Very good scores. Taken screenshot? Okay. Now I will be showing you questions. So this is the first homework question for this passage. Question number 1, take a screenshot. Okay, moving to question number 2 of the passage. Okay, moving to the third question. Take a screenshot, guys. Third question for your homework passage. Okay. Fourth question for your homework passage, question number 4. फटाफट से स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए. Okay, and moving to the fifth and the last question, okay, for the passage. Navjot, you have to practice a lot, okay? Make sure that you are scoring above 25 out of 30. Okay, so now guys, where do you need to check your answers from? Because I will be not giving you the answers. Obviously, आपको answers check करना है हमारे PDF study material से, जो मैं इस particular live class के लिए upload करूंगी हमारे app के अंदर. So just go into our app. If you have not downloaded our app yet, download our SSBCrack exams app. Get yourself enrolled into the AFCAT exam online course. और उस कोर्स के अंदर आपको एक सेक्शन मिलेगा AFCAT 1 2022 लाइव क्लास एंड आंसर कीज के नाम से. उस सेक्शन में आज के लाइव क्लास का PDF मटेरियल मैं कुछ मिनटों में अपलोड करूंगी. वहां से आप PDF मटेरियल डाउनलोड कर लेना और लास्ट में आपको ये होमवर्क क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स जो है मिल जाएंगे. ओके गाइस, सो बिफोर वी रैप अप द सेशन, टुडे वाज माय लास्ट इंग्लिश सेशन फॉर AFCAT 1 2022. जैसे मैं आपको बता दी हूँ कि मंडे से हम लोग फिर से मिलेंगे from 4 p.m. onwards with mock marathon sessions. So make sure that you're coming prepared and revise your stuff before attending the session. So before we leave guys, let me also show you कि SSB इंटरव्यू के जो कोर्स है उस पर जरूर एनरोल हो जाना अगर आप बाकी कोई भी रिटन एग्जाम दे चुके हैं और डिफेंस और SSB के लिए तैयारी कर रहे हैं या फिर किसी को जानते हैं जो डायरेक्ट एंट्री वाले हैं. And also for you guys, this is very helpful. So after clearing your AFCAT 1 2022 exam, please make sure that you are getting yourself enrolled into this course and making yourself much more prepared for it. Also guys, if you are writing any other exam other than AFCAT, you can check out all the courses from our app inside. And there are also test series which are mock test sets available. So start practicing mock tests as many as possible. You can get yourself enrolled into AFCAT 2022 mock test series because the exam is just around the corner. So let me give you also an idea of how you can access all these things. You can get these things by downloading our app only. तो अगर आपने ऐप का लिंक चाहते हो तो डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में हमने ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइड किए हैं इस ऐप का लिंक, वहां से भी आप ऐप को डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं और वॉरियर 10 कोड जरूर यूज करना जिससे आपको 10% ऑफ मिलेगा सारे कोर्सेज और टेस्ट सीरीज पे. सो दैट वाज इट फ्रॉम माय साइड गाइस. आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. प्रैक्टिस करना ज्यादा से ज्यादा, रिवाइज करके आना मंडे से, क्योंकि 4 बजे से मंडे से हम लोग मैराथन करने वाले हैं. एवरी डे मंडे ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे थर्सडे फ्राइडे 5 दिन हमारा मैराथन सेशंस चलेगा एंड दैट आल्सो ऑन मॉक्स. So I wish you all the best guys and always stay tuned with SSBCrack exams. Stay positive, stay motivated and wait for the next class which will be on reasoning. Okay guys, bye everyone and Jai Hind.